2,000 years ago, China's first emperor was so afraid of dying that he sent ships full of people across the sea to hunt down one mushroom. They never came back. That mushroom was reishi. And the strange part is, you can grow that same mushroom on a brick of sawdust in your closet, then harvest it for 6 months straight. Welcome back to the Mushroom Archive. Today, we are looking at the one mushroom that pays you back for being patient. So, can you really pull reishi from a single grow for half a year? Short answer, yes, though there is a catch nobody warns beginners about. Reishi does not sprint the way the oyster mushrooms on this channel do. It plods, it colonizes slowly, and it fruits slowly. And that lazy pace is exactly why one setup keeps giving long after a tray of oysters would be done and composted. Think about the gap there. An oyster block runs from pins to harvest in roughly a week, burns through a couple of fast flushes, and then it is finished. Reishi takes its sweet time. From the moment those first little knobs poke up, you might wait 2 to 3 months before a cap is fully grown. Sounds like a drawback until you turn it over. The grow sits on your shelf for a whole season instead of a weekend, and the batch you dry from it can live in a jar feeding your kettle for months after that. The 6 months really comes from two things stacked on top of each other: a long, slow-growing window and a dried stash that hangs around. This is the trap most people walk into. They treat reishi like every other kit. They rip the bag open the day it lands on the porch, they panic when nothing happens for 2 weeks, and they start poking and prodding. Reishi hates being poked. A mycologist named Solomon Wasser spent decades cataloging medicinal mushrooms, and the one word that follows Ganoderma, the formal name for reishi, is patience. This is a wood eater. Out in the forest, it moves into a dying oak or maple and chews on that trunk quietly for years. Your only job at home is to copy that calm instead of fighting it. Let me walk you through the grow, because the steps are easier than the waiting they ask of you. Start with what it eats. Reishi is a white rot fungus, so it lives on the tough, woody fibers inside hardwood. It will not take to straw the way an oyster will, so leave the straw out of it, or you will just grow a bag of green mold. The usual recipe is hardwood sawdust with a scoop of bran stirred in for a little nitrogen, packed into a filter patch bag, usually a 5-pound block. Oak and maple are the go-to. Sort your moisture out first. Squeeze a handful, and you want a bead or two of water to show, not a trickle down your wrist. Too wet drowns the mycelium. Too dry, and it just sits there sulking. Now, the step everybody wants to skip: sterilizing. Reishi is so slow to wake up and stake its claim that you have to hand it a spotless block with nothing competing for the food. That means proper sterilization, not the easygoing pasteurization you can get away with on the oysters. Most people pressure cook the bagged substrate at around 15 psi for about 2.5 hours. Let it cool all the way down, since spawn dumped onto a warm block just gets cooked. Then mix in your grain spawn, usually about 10% by weight, and seal it back up. Then you leave it alone. Park the block somewhere warm, upper 70s to mid 80s Fahrenheit, and let the mycelium crawl through it. It takes a few weeks, and for a stretch, it looks like nothing is going on. Do not give in and open it for a look. The #1 reishi killer is cutting the bag before the block has turned solid white. Do that, and mold walks straight into a block that has not finished claiming its turf, and the flush either stalls or quits on you completely. Wait until it is white corner to corner. Once it is fully colonized, you get to make a fun call, and the whole thing hinges on air. Reishi is maybe the clearest example anywhere of how carbon dioxide bends a mushroom into a different shape. Keep the bag sealed and the CO2 trapped high, and the fungus throws up tall, branching, antler-shaped spikes, usually tipped bright white or candy orange. Open it up to plenty of fresh air, and it flattens out into the classic shelf, that glossy red kidney-shaped conk you picture when you hear the word reishi. Exact same fungus, exact same block. The only thing deciding which one you get is how much oxygen you let in. For most folks growing at home, antlers are the lazy win. You barely touch the bag. Keep it shut, keep it warm, hand it some indirect light, and let the antlers climb inside their sealed little world.
If you want the showpiece conk, wait for the antlers to hit 3 to 6 inches, slice the top off the bag, and crank up both the fresh air and the humidity. The growing tips flatten and start building real caps. One heads up from anyone who has done it: when that conk matures, it dumps a ridiculous load of rust-colored spores, enough to coat a whole room in brown dust. Fruit it somewhere you do not mind wiping down, and keep it out of bedrooms because breathing those spores in day after day can irritate your lungs. The whole time it fruits, your targets stay steady. Humidity high, roughly 75 to 90% depending on your space. Temperature in the low to mid-70s. Indirect light a few hours a day, which Reishi treats as a clock more than a meal. And the little airflow so the surface is not sitting in dead, stagnant air. Dull and consistent wins here. Reishi rewards a grower who sets good conditions and then backs off, not one who fiddles twice a day.
Now, harvesting it without robbing the flush is still to come. You can tell a conk is ready when that pale growing rim around the edge finally finishes shading from creamy white over to deep red. The thing will be corky and shockingly tough, more like a chunk of kitchen cabinet than a mushroom. So grab sharp shears or even a little saw and cut clean at the base. Take it just before it starts raining spore, because once it tips into a full spore dump, it is pouring its energy into making babies instead of into the body you want. This is the bit that loops back to our 6-month promise. After that first harvest, do not bin the block. A well-colonized reishi block will often give you a second flush, sometimes a third if you stay patient. The common trick: soak the spent block in clean water for an hour or two. Drain it, and set it back into fruiting to pull another round out of it. That round comes in smaller, and some blocks really are one and done, so keep your hopes grounded. If you want the proper marathon, the version that fruits across whole seasons, that is log-grown reishi. Bury an inoculated hardwood log outside, and it can fruit twice a year for several years running. Roughly a year of productive life for every inch of log thickness. That is a route where one grow truly feeds you for ages. Either way, the harvest only counts if you store it properly, and Reishi's fussy about this. Fresh, it lasts maybe a couple of weeks in the fridge, so hardly anyone bothers keeping it fresh. You dry it, and you dry it hard until it snaps clean in your fingers. Dried that thoroughly and sealed in an airtight jar somewhere cool and dark, it holds for the better part of a year. That jar is your 6-month supply right there on the shelf. Which brings us to the question I get every time. What do you do with a mushroom you cannot chew? You do not throw it in a pan like a portobello. The good stuff in reishi is locked up inside that woody tissue, and it does not let go without a fight. So you pull it out with heat. The old school move is to simmer thin slices, low and slow, for an hour or more into a bitter tea or decoction. Serious growers go a step further with a double extraction, hot water plus alcohol to grab both the water-soluble and the alcohol-soluble parts. Powdered reishi in capsules is the shortcut, though plain woody chunks give up far less without that long, patient heat. Quick, honest word before anyone runs off to fix her health with tea. Reishi has been studied for things like immune support and the body's stress response, and you will hear it called an adaptogen. But plenty of that research is early or mixed, so go easy on the miracle talk floating around online. This video is education, not medical advice. If you are pregnant, nursing, on blood thinners, on immunosuppressants, or dealing with a real health condition, talk to an actual clinician before reishi becomes a daily habit. So picture the payoff. It is the dead of winter. Your oyster grows came and went months back, long since composted. But over in the corner, a slow red conk is still quietly thickening up. You've already got a jar of dried slices simmering away into tea on the cold mornings. You never once baby-fat it. You set it up, you walked away, and it just kept handing you mushroom, while everything faster had long since burned out and got tossed. That is the quiet thing Reishi teaches better than anything else on this channel. The fastest harvest is almost never the one that lasts. Sometimes the mushroom worth growing is the one that makes you wait for it. If this video is informative, then comment yes. That motivates us to produce more videos like this.